To start off today, we are going to be looking at a mass spec reading and see how we can get an accurate reading on if a substance is ionic or covalent, the empirical formula, the molecular formula when the weight is 204.91 grams per molecule, and the pressure after a sample of 2.43 grams is vaporized in a 15-liter container at 468 Kelvin. First off, we need to determine what the elements are in our mass spec reading. We can tell this by looking at the mass number, which is listed at the bottom or x-axis of the mass spec reading, and the number below the name of an element. Take oxygen, for example. Both the number listed on the x-axis here and the x-axis of the mass spec reading and the mass number for oxygen are both 16, proving its identity. Do the same for the other numbers listed. My mass spec only has two elements on it, oxygen and phosphorus. Looking at our periodic table, we could see that both elements are nonmetals, meaning that our mixture, also known as a compound, is covalent. To get an empirical formula, we need to go back to our mass number. We take the number on the mass spec and divide it by the mass number of the element. Let's start with oxygen. .66 divided by 16.0 is equal to 3.42. Now following with phosphorus, we have 45.34, and we divide that by 31. And that is equal to 1.46. We divide both numbers that we received by the smaller number of the two, meaning 1.46. So we take 3.42 and divide it by 1.46, and we receive 2.3. We don't have to divide that one by its number because it's the same number and it would just equal 1. We cannot have decimals in our answer, so we need to multiply both sides by 3. This leaves us with 7 for oxygen and 3 for phosphorus. In a 7-to-3 ratio. Our empirical formula is going to be this ratio. Oxygen, 7. Phosphorus, 3. To find our molecular formula when the weight is 204.91 grams per molecule, you first need the weight of your empirical formula that you started with. To get this, you need to multiply the average mass weight by the number listed for that element in the empirical formula. This means we need to take the mass number, 16, multiply that by 7, and the mass number, the phosphorus, which is 31, times 3, For oxygen, we are going to get 112. For phosphorus, we are going to get 93. Next, we need to add the two results together. 112 plus 93. These numbers equal 205. Because the question is asking what 204.91 grams per molecule is equal to, we can basically round that up to 205. The molecular formula is basically going to be the same thing. To answer the last question, you need to take a gas law. PV is equal to grams over the weight of RT. You take the weight that was in the equation, and basically what you're trying to do is you're solving for X, which is your pressure. What you're doing is you're plugging the same numbers that were listed up here into this equation. The 15 liters goes here, the 2.43 grams goes here. Then you want to multiply that by the gas law number, 8.31 joules, and multiply that by your Kelvin. You take this, the answer to that, which is 46.1, and divide it by this number here, 15. And your answer is going to be, your pressure, your answer is going to equal 3.07. This concludes how to answer these questions using a mass spec. I hope you enjoyed the video.